Okay, well, here's my review, an article on, in fact, I just left Pitcher's Bar, which is located on Union Boulevard in Allentown. I received an invite to the Meat Beats MB Pro Showcase, which is put on by Meat Beats Production Studios here in the Lehigh Valley. Honestly, personally, I'm mainly rock, okay? Rock music, rap, rap and hip hop has never really been my thing. But couldn't resist, I had to stop by. And I wanted to check this out and, start expanding the magazine and myself into different areas. So, I started at 8, got here a little after 10, and right off, I have to say two things. Number one, this is not what you may think, okay? I was here, just ended at 12:20, so I was here for over 2 hours. Under no not for one split second did I get a bad feel or bad vibe on the crowd, okay? The showcase is a bunch of hip-hop artists, local hip-hop artists getting together to show off what they can do, and the crowd, hey, everybody was here to have a great time just like you would expect anywhere else. So the sometimes stereotype of people getting into fights, etc., 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 the violence and so on does not apply here. Obviously, because it's a bar, 21 and over, but for someone who loves rock, has a certain look to me, guess what? I didn't have a problem in the world, and everyone was cool. Everyone was here to have a good time, listen to some great music. I said there were two things that I wanted to second thing I wanted to stress right off. After 2 hours and 20 minutes, this is something the Lehigh Valley desperately needs. Going back to my first point, in the area of, guess what? It's Thursday night, going out, having a good time, and listening to some great hip-hop music, and also the fact of, it's very cold out here. But, and also just bringing the different artists together. This is something that you really don't see too much in the area, especially in the winter. In the summer, you have all the festivals, the fairs, etc. But for something to, on a regular basis, showcase the artists and highlight them and giving them a chance to show everyone what they can do is something this area desperately needs. And the MB Pro Showcase, I give a hell of a lot of credit to them. And as far as what I said about desperately needing, that is something you will rarely hear me say, okay? But this is phenomenal. The rap and hip hop artists, the variety ranged from somewhat commercial feel to it and sound to it to raw and right off the streets. And yes, I do know that type of life. I walk the streets a lot, especially in the summer, every day. I walk the streets of Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, especially in Allentown. In the summer, I'm always walking. Some of the sound was raw, right off the street, pure emotion. The energy level, very high, okay? These guys, man, from one right to the next, boom, boom, boom. You really, you actually had to go, if you wanted to go outside into their smoking lounge, cigar lounge, to get a quick break from it. So they kept the energy real high here. I do have to point out, and I'm not, okay, forgive me for this, because I'm not that familiar with the hip-hop scene, okay? But The only thing I was hoping for, and I realize it may be different for a full show for one hip-hop artist, is that after a while, it kind of it started running together for me. You know, whereas I was actually hoping, like I do with every single band out there, okay, every single musician, drop it down a notch for one, you know, break up the pace a little bit, whether, you know, especially, hey, I can remember LL Cool J, I Need Love, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Summertime, do like a rap ballad to break it up. Personally, you know, like any review, personal opinion here, especially since this is my first time, so it's going to take me a little while to establish a criteria. But, and Meat Beats himself, oh my god, he did, it was non-stop. The one artist, you know, one hip-hop artist would get off stage, he'd be right there, bam, you know, keeping the energy going, keeping everything, the levels high, talking to the crowd, you know, and everything, and it wasn't scripted. So it was just, you know, like I said, for my first exposure to the local hip hop scene, I had a great time overall. It was great, you know, actually great to hear the different artists, you know, and the wider variety of styles. Cap C, if you haven't heard of him, if you don't, especially if you don't live in the Lehigh Valley, you have not heard of DJ Cap C, he's one of the best, honestly. I've seen a lot of DJs, and most times, honestly, I can't tell the difference between one DJ and another. Cap C did his usual great job at this. Caught him a few other times, interviewed him. He's a great guy and also one hell of a DJ. But sorry if this isn't actually a full review, but like I said, I don't exactly have a criteria, and this is kind of like one of those times where each artist only had about 3 or 4 songs, so this is basically an article. Would I recommend it? Even if you're not into hip-hop and rap? Yes. But, and here's the but, if you are one of the types of people, no offense here, that gets easily offended by language, you know, yeah, this would not be for you, because the language, like the lyrics, is raw and real, okay? Period. But for most people, you know what? Even if you're not into hip-hop, I would still suggest, if you're in the area, if you live here, hey, guess what? Check it out, because I can promise you one thing, you will see more video clips in return from me, because at times I was moving to it, and I was actually getting into it. So I would give this a very high rating for at least checking out at least once, and it's part of the Lehigh Valley music scene and the local scene here. The artists, I talked to Michael, for the one gentleman I know who's involved, and he told me, he said it's right from the streets. He said these are young artists who they found music, and this is a way, this is a way where they can be themselves, who they are, not who they're expected to be. So great job to Meat Beats and everyone involved, Cap C, all of the artists. For someone who's not a fan of hip hop, each artist up there did one hell of a performance. And as far as the stage show goes, man, they used every single inch of that stage, trust me. So my fingers are starting to burn from the cold, and I'm going to cut this short, but I will be doing a follow-up. So for Valley and Beyond, this is Michael Phoenix. Check out the link to the event, and as always, be safe in the night and always. Thanks for listening. Bye.